I serve on the Coburn Place board. I've been serving for about 1.5 years. I actually also was a resident of Coburn Place about 7 years ago. A friend of mine told me about Coburn Place when I was going through domestic violence myself, and I had never heard of them, and it was really a true blessing. I submitted an application, came in, gave them all my paperwork. We went through an interview process where they just asked me some questions and what I was going through, and then we waited. The great thing about waiting was that I was able to utilize some of the services during that time. So I was able to come in and do some of the therapeutic services that they offer, come in for some of the things like food, clothing, any of the things that did not relate to residential living in the actual facility. I could use some of those services during that time, and fortunately, it didn't end up being a 2 to 3 month wait. It ended up being about 1.5 months. First impressions for me was just peace and safety. The gates and the security and just feeling secure. I actually was in the apartment next door, so it's funny that we're speaking here. But yeah, it was just the peace and the safety, seeing my own place. That's the main thing that I was excited about. Before I arrived at Coburn Place, I did a lot of work in business. I had my own fitness studio, I had my own daycare. That was like the areas that were going well for me. But when I got into the relationship prior to arriving at Coburn Place, I kind of had to start over from scratch. I was starting kind of from rock bottom. The great thing about Coburn Place is the fact that it's holistic. And they help out in all different types of ways, as far as spiritually with the gardens and the services that come in when it comes to therapy and when it comes to workshops and things like that. But most importantly, they help with the kids. I have 2 children. I had 2 children during my time here. And I realized that when you go through things like that, it affects your children, it affects your friends. I slept on my cousin's couch for some time, so it affected her as well. And I think that there are so many negative experiences that happen sometimes in children's lives when they're going through interpersonal relationship and domestic violence. To come and to have a handful of positive experiences that may be able to shift or balance those out makes a world of a difference. When I think about the children, I think specifically about my oldest son. He was about maybe 10 years old while he was here. And he's an artist now. He animates professionally. He has several paid gigs animating, and that's what he wants to do. And the reason why he animates, well, he was interested in art, and Coburn Place had a program here connected to Broad Ripple's art program where he was able to get some personal lessons and spend personal time with artists. And I really feel like that helped to cultivate that flame to where he's able to continue doing that and do that full time now. Of course, I took my time that I was here to heal. And I focused on healing. I focused on getting financially stable, rebuilding my business while I was right here in Coburn Place, which they had tons of resources for that. I like the fact that they had a whole long list of things that you could participate in throughout the day, especially if you didn't have anything to do or if you were in between jobs and things like that. But at the same time, they weren't required. And after they helped me to get into my place and I got into my place, I decided that I would want to come back after some time and serve. The first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to come in and teach Zumba. So I came in and taught Zumba to the ladies prior to the pandemic, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and just did something fun with them and inspired them, shared my story, shared that I was here, taught them a little bit about self-care through dance. And so I started there, and that's where I found out that there was space on the board to serve as well. One of the things that I really like about Coburn Place is that they have a diverse board. And so they have a board from many different walks. They have someone who was a resident on the board. They have people all throughout the community on the board to give all those different perspectives, because as a nonprofit organization, your vision and your goal is the community that you serve. And so it's really an honor for me to serve on the board of Coburn Place. It's been an open place to serve. They're open to bringing on new ideas. The individuals that serve there are all active in the community, and it's just been an amazing experience.